What is going on, guys? Dino Bam Bam here with the 10-7 MMA. Happy to be back in your lives with another quick picks. Now, this week we were supposed to have Tatsuro Taira taking on Amir Albazi, but of course, with all the health complications he's had over the last year or so, a heart surgery, a neck surgery, Amir Albazi had to pull out once again, but no worries, guys. The undefeated Hyung Sung Park is here to save the day, and he'll be stepping in for the main event. Lots of fights kind of scrambled and fell off this card and then were put back on. But we're going to get into the quick picks here. But before we do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. And then you can also follow us on Instagram at the107MMA. Now, we are doing that UFC 319 giveaway, and there is still a few days left. August the 3rd, that is Sunday, we will be announcing the winner. The draw will happen Saturday night, August the 2nd, after the UFC card. So follow us on Instagram and you'll see the results there. You still got a couple days to enter. If you do want to enter, it's very simple. Go to our Instagram, like it says at the bottom at the107MMA. You'll see the video posted there, the ticket giveaway. DS put it in like the little story. It's not a story. It's like a reel or a chapter or some bullshit on Instagram. Click that. Follow us on Instagram. Click that. Comment who you would take with you. And then leave us a comment here on YouTube. That's the most important thing, right? Leave your Instagram handle here on YouTube. Now, for all of you that are leaving the comments like, pick me, I did this, I want to come because of this. Guys, I trust me, it's amazing. I love hearing all these stories, and I wish we could take all of you. We can't, and we're not picking based on stories, right? That wouldn't be right. We are literally randomly picking a name out of either a hat or a generator or some shit. We're going to figure it out with ChatGPT, but that's what's going on there. Now, let's get into quick picks. Let's fly through this goddamn card. First fight of the night, we've got Austin Bashi, massive favorite, biggest favorite of the card, taking on UFC newcomer John Yanis. Guys, Austin Bashi, 13-1 prospect out of Michigan, grinding wrestling base, nonstop pace, good takedowns, chains them together well, throws some solid ground and pound, and he doesn't really give his opponents much room to breathe. We did see him getting pressured in his only loss in the UFC, but that's C-Rod, right? He does that. And on the feet, Austin Bashi constantly improving. I like the kid, and he's a -16 for a reason. He has taken on the short notice newcomer, John Yanis, a dangerous striker, likes to push forward and create chaos early. He's explosive. He has good pop in his hands, but he tends to slow down if he's forced to grapple. And I think that's the recipe here for Austin Bashi. I think he's going to nonstop chain wrestle John Yanis until he gets tired, and then it's going to become easier and easier for him. I got Austin Bashi here by decision. I think there is a chance for a late finish, but I'll stay safe. Austin Bashi is the pick on the money line decision. Moving on, we've got Piera Rodriguez, and she is taking on Ketlin Souza. Piera Rodriguez absolutely thrives on pressure, guys. She's a straightforward striker, solid boxing, good leg kicks. She's comfortable mixing in her takedowns when needed. Her durability and her gas tank are her biggest weapons. She is an absolute grinder. She's going to keep pushing forward. She's going to keep grinding. She's going to try to get control time. And that's usually her recipe. She is taking on Ketlin Souza, definitely the more dynamic athlete here. Flashy kicks, quick hands, really dangerous early on in fights when her speed and power are there. Similar to the gentleman in the last fight, she tends to slow down as the fight moves on. Look, I think Piera Rodriguez is going to win this fight by decision. I see her eating some flashy shots at the beginning, some powerful strikes, but ultimately not going away, continuing to walk her opponent down, getting gritty, winning the clinch control, and basically just winning a 29-28 decision. So give me Piera Rodriguez on by decision. Moving on. Felipe Bunez versus Rafael Estevam. Shout out Patricky Pitbull. Shout out Coach Eric, Captain Eric Albarracin. These guys have been on a fucking mission with Felipe Bunez. Well, not with Felipe Bunez, but to be here in the corner for Felipe Bunez. Patricio Pitbull fought 2 weeks ago. Him and Captain Eric at like 5 in the morning got to the airport, flew to LAX, flew to Japan where Patricky was fighting in Ryzen the next week. They did that whole fucking thing. Patricio flies back to Brazil, I believe. Patricky and Captain Eric are in Vegas now, ready to corner Felipe Bunez, so good luck to them. But anyways, Felipe Bunez, a crafty veteran. He's been around the Brazilian regional scene for a long time, been with the Pitbull brothers for a long time. He's really damn good in the scrambles. He's really dangerous if he's able to take your back and get those submission positions. On the feet, he's okay. He's a little hittable for my liking. He's not the most durable guy in the world, and he has taken on a short notice replacement here in Rafael Estevam. So a short notice guy that's a -500. undefeated, right? One of those new wave Brazilian flyweights, fast, aggressive, super well rounded, heavy top control, loves to hunt for the submissions, and he can absolutely crack on the feet. And you know what? I think that's going to be the difference, right? The ability to stand there and trade. I think Felipe Bunes is going to want to get this fight to the ground as soon as possible. I don't know that he's able to take down Rafael Estevam, but I believe that this fight will end up on the ground one way or another. And I think Estevam is just, too young, too flashy, too good. I think he is going to get the best of Felipe Bunes. So I have Rafael Estevam by submission round one. I think he takes the back or maybe even gets like an armbar or something. I think he's getting himself a sub in round one. Hopefully I'm wrong for the sake of my boys, Patricky and Captain Eric. Moving on, speaking of friends of the channel, god damn it, we got Tresean Gore, and he is taking on Rodolfo Vieira. Guys, Rodolfo Vieira, a 10-3 fighter, BJJ monster, right? Like legendary jiu-jitsu on this guy, insane top pressure, some of the best arm triangles the game has ever seen. The problem is, while his jiu-jitsu game is so goddamn good, it all depends on getting really early takedowns. He's not the best guy at wrestling. He's not the best takedown threat. If he can get it there, you're fucked. You're absolutely screwed. But if he can't, he tires out really goddamn early. On the feet, he does have some power, but he's a little slow. He's a little, just a little too burly and slow for this division. But if he gets you to the ground, you're cooked. He's taking on our boy, Tresean Gore, an absolute freak athlete, still learning on the job here in the UFC. He has massive big knockout power. Good takedown defense. He doesn't need to do much early in this fight, guys. If Tresean Gore can keep this fight standing, and I think that he can, he does have a really good grappling base, and he is really athletic and explosive. I think he can avoid the takedowns early in this fight. And then once we get into the second, Tresean Gore is going to be the much fresher fighter. And when it comes to the feet, he's going to be the crisper striker, has more power in this one. So I think for Tresean Gore, it's a story of don't get subbed in the first, and you'll win this fight in the second or third. We saw last time out, Tresean Gore put on an absolutely amazing account for himself in a fight that was a war that he was kind of getting the short end of the stick on, right? He was getting his ass whooped, for the lack of a better term. But Tresean Gore stood in there, showed us how goddamn tough he is. I think plus money is awesome here. If he can avoid that sub, I think he gets a knockout. So give me Tresean Gore, round 2, KO after Rodolfo Vieira burns himself out. Moving on. Rinya Nakamura taking on Nathan Fletcher. Guys, I love me some Rinya Nakamura, and I do love me some Nathan Fletcher as well. Nakamura, an absolute relentless wrestler, right? We know he has all the credentials in Japan, which is a very underrated wrestling country. I think it was Khabib and Cejudo that were sitting there having the conversation of USA and Russia being the top two, and then Khabib was like, who's on the rise is Japan. They're one to look out for. But he chains those takedowns like a motherfucker. He's effortless as shit with those. Crushes his opponents, unreal ground and pound. The striking is quick, it's simple, it's powerful, it's all beautiful, and it works off of his wrestling. He has taken on Nathan Fletcher, a very crafty submission fighter, great scrambles, great back takes. He's dangerous off of his back, and I think that's kind of the key to this fight. He is going to get taken down by Rinya Nakamura. Can you survive on your back with Rinya Nakamura on top of you? And I think that's the game we're going to get to see. So I don't think so. I think Rinya Nakamura is eventually going to finish him with some nasty ground and pound. Quick takedown, heavy ground and pound. Give me Rinya Nakamura, round 1, TKO to ground and pound. This one is very interesting, right? We got a coin flip here. We got a pick 'em. Nick Klein versus Andre Puliev. A lot of people picking Nick Klein, but I'm just going to spoil it. Not me, but let's get into it. Nick Klein, an absolute grinder, right? Just a tough, relentless, durable dude. Likes to crash in the pocket, clinch, and wrestle. He's physical as shit, but he is so goddamn hittable, and he relies on making fights very ugly to win them. That is a trait that you want. If your fighter is super goddamn skilled, you want him to be a dog, and you want him to be able to win these ugly fights. You don't want your fighter to only be able to win ugly fights. And then that's what I think of Nick Klein. He's taking on Andre Puliev, the much more cleaner technical striker in this one, moves well, picks his shots very well, has power that honestly he could punish Nick Klein with. His takedown defense is decent, and the hole in his game is going to be just the defensive grappling, right? If Nick Klein is able to take him down, we might have trouble. But I think Puliev survives the first round, maybe survives a takedown attempt or two, maybe even gets taken down and rides out the round, losing the first. But eventually in the second, he's going to pressure and counter, and he's going to turn the lights off. So give me Andre Puliev, round 2, TKO. Oh, moving on, the next fight of the night, we've got Danny Silva versus the It Boy, guys. Literally the biggest prospect, the guy that I've been on the hype train of for about 2 years now. If you guys watch the channel, you know, and that's Kevin Vallejos. I'm glad that the train's fucking picking up steam or whatever the fuck the saying is, but Kevin Vallejos is getting a massive following, and the betting odds show that. I don't know that he should be a minus 470 against a guy who's as dangerous as Danny Silva, but here we are. Danny Silva, a brawler. He comes forward. He throws heat. He is looking to break guys with pressure and volume. He is durable. He is tough. He is not afraid of a war. He can get reckless on some of his entries. And that's where I think the hole is going to be for Kevin Vallejos, who is, again, one of my favorite prospects in the game. He's like a little mini Tapuria, right? And it's not that he's Ilia Tapuria in terms of skill, which he is very goddamn skilled, but the boxing, it does look like Ilia Tapuria. If you squint your eyes a little bit, or, like you can see Ilia Tapuria in his game. He's explosive. He's short. He's got compact power. He loves to close the distance, throws heavy combinations, nasty leg kicks, nasty to the body as well, Kevin Vallejos. He's aggressive. He's calculated, and he makes every one of his shots count. The only loss on this man's record at 15-1 is Gene Silva on the Contender Series in a fight where he won the first round, right? Yes, he did end up getting his ass kicked late in the second, early in the third. But look at where Gene Silva's at right now. He's one fight away from a title fight, right? So I got to stick with Kevin Vallejos. I do think the odds are a little crazy. I don't know that I would want to bet this one. If anything, maybe you sprinkle on Danny Silva. Maybe there is, there is a benefit to doing that. Danny Silva is very powerful, and he could fraud check Kevin Vallejos. I don't think so, but that's in the realm of possibility. So give me Kevin Vallejos by knockout round 2. Next fight of the night, we've got Neil Magny versus Alessio Zaleski dos Santos. In this year, 2025, the Unks they've been unking. The Unks have been doing their thing, and we got 2 Unks here. Neil Magny, a veteran of the division. He uses his length, his jabs, his clinch work to slow the fights down. He's really goddamn good in the clinch. He's super durable, but at this stage in his career, we know he's slowing down, right? He can get bullied by more explosive fighters. Alessio Zaleski dos Santos, 37 years old, so not much younger than Neil Magny, but he's much more explosive. Wild kicks, big hooks. He thrives in bursts, does a lot of spinning shit. If he can keep this standing and turn it into a chaotic fight and stay away from that cage grappling, that cage clinching of Neil Magny, I think he wins this fight. I think we're going to have a banger. I'm going to Alessio Zaleski by decision. I think he lands the bigger shots and just kind of outpoints Neil Magny with those big strikes. So give me Alessio Zaleski dos Santos by decision. And then we move on to this. Karol Rosa versus Nora Cornhole. This one, kind of 50-50 on. I'm not going to lie to you guys, right? Karol Rosa, a busy striker, good volume, decent takedowns. She's fought the better competition between these two. She's been around the block for sure. She's just not that good, right? Like, she's okay. She can get stuck on the feet in these close fights where she gets hesitant and doesn't throw very much, and I don't love that. She's taken on Nora Cornhole, an explosive Muay Thai style fighter. She's French, so she kind of has exactly what you think she has, that French Sabat style. She throws with intent. She's improving fight to fight. She might be the more dangerous striker in this one early on, but later on in fights, she kind of, it's not that she gasses out, which she probably does, but she gets really sloppy in fights, right? I thought Nora Cornhole would be the favorite here. I'm going Karol Rosa, and I was excited to maybe make some money on this one, but with Karol Rosa being the minus 170 favorite, I can't bet on her. I will be taking her by decision here. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Save your money, keep it in your pocket for some next shit. Maybe like this fight, okay? 2 absolute my boys. Esteban Ribovics taking on Elvis Brenner. I hate that they made this fight because these are 2 of my dudes. I don't understand. Like, why are you making these 2 guys from neighboring rival countries fight each other? Like, you need Latin Americans, like you need Asians, you need Europeans, you need Australians. Like, keep these guys the fuck away from each other unless you don't have a choice. Unless we're in like main event status or looking for belts. There's no reason a guy from France should be fighting a guy from England. Or, I mean, that's a little okay, they're whatever. Don't do it. Just let these Brazilians fight an American or a Dagestani guy, and let these Argentinians fight an Australian dude. Very simple. But anyways, Esteban Ribovics, a very fast starter, explosive hands, dangerous as hell in the first round, as we've seen. a handful of times. Shout out T-Rex. He loves to swarm guys early, but if he can't get you out of there, his gas tank will dip and he will get much slower as the fight moves forward. He has taken on Elvis Brenner, an absolute maniac, a king of chaos. Thrives in the brawls. He carries some really sneaky power, and he can find late finishes when his opponents fade. He's durable as hell, and he's opportunistic. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I think Elvis Brenner is going to survive an early onslaught. I think he's going to get his ass whooped in the first round of this fight, but he's going to survive maybe like a really bad first round for him, maybe even a 10-8 kind of thing. But then he's just going to start steamrolling Esteban Ribovics. That's the way I see this one. I think Brenner drags him into deep water and gets himself a finish. I'm going TKO round 3 Elvis Brenner. I love plus 230 here. This fight should be a lot closer to like minus 160, 175. I think minus 285 is absolute bananas, even if you think Ribovics is going to win this fight. I don't love it. Co-main event time, guys. We're flying through this card, and I am so goddamn hot. I'm sweating. I don't know if you guys can see me glowing. It's hot as hell down here. But we've got Chris Duncan, and he's taking on Mateusz Rebecki. Guys, Mateusz Rebecki, another my dude, right? Stocky powerhouse, suffocating wrestling, just absolutely crushing top control, heavy as hell on top. Once he gets in a rhythm, it is a matter of time of how he is going to finish his opponents. On the regional scene, this dude was something else. And in the UFC, he has lived up to the goddamn hype, except for one fight. And he has taken on Chris Duncan, a very, very tough, hard-hitting pressure fighter, always super goddamn live for a knockout, especially early in fights. Defensively, this guy does not give a shit. He is not defensive at all. He is willing to be hit. He is going to throw the kitchen sink at you early in fights. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, then we got ourselves a brawl. That's how Chris Duncan sees it. I'm going Mateusz Rebecki here, guys. I'm going Rebecki by round 1. Get this, submission. I think we're going to go back to the old school Rebecki, right? The one on the regional scene that used to take these fighters down and just kind of maul them on the ground. I think he closes the distance, does not want to engage in an early stand-up fight with Chris Duncan. Gets him down, snatches up the neck really goddamn early. I'm going arm triangle. Mateusz Rebecki, round 1. As we move on to the main event of the evening, where we've got Tatsuro Taira, the Japanese fighter, taking on the Korean Hyung Sung Park. Interesting goddamn fight. Did not think we would be seeing Hyung Sung Park in a main event in 2025. Alas, here we are though, right? So let's start with Tatsuro Taira, rising Japanese star at flyweight. Nasty grappler, phenomenal back takes, thrives in the transitions. His striking has been improving, but make no mistake, he is at his best when he can chain these takedowns and get into these dominant grappling positions. Guys, the scrambles are something else. This kid is a goddamn wizard on the ground. Me and DS saw him fight live once or twice. I mean, this kid he's fucking scary, shockingly good on the ground. So he knows how to manage a 5-round pace as well. So I'm not worried about cardio for the kid. He's taking on the undefeated Hyung Sung Park. South Korean prospect, clean striker, snappy jab, really goddamn good counters. Confident in his scrambles, confident enough to where he can grapple with Tatsuro Taira, even though I don't think that's the thing to do here. He's going to need to keep this fight upright if he wants to win it. I think early in this fight, especially, his speed and his power and his accuracy are going to give Tatsuro Taira problems. This is going to be such a fast-paced fight, especially early on. I think maybe he wins the first round. Tatsuro Taira not so prepared for him yet. But as we get into that second, third, and then the championship rounds, let's call them, I think Tatsuro Taira is eventually going to start landing himself some takedowns and landing himself some control positions. And when Tatsuro Taira gets that backpack position, or he gets on your leg, or he gets, to side control, like, you're not getting up. I don't give a shit who you are. You are not getting up. And that's what I think is going to happen here. I think he's going to ride out these positions for a very long time in this fight. It might be quote unquote boring for a casual in that second, third, and fourth round. But I think eventually, while doing that and slowly breaking down his opponent's gas tank and slowly just kind of, coercing him into giving him these positions a little bit easier, I think Tatsuro Taira will find himself a submission in the fourth round. I think he snatches the back, snatches up an RNC, and we get a "I'm happy, thank you" at the end of this card. He'll be calling for the belt, and maybe rightfully so. I'm not sure where Tatsuro Taira goes with the win here, but he's really goddamn close to the belt. And guys, yeah, that is it. That is UFC Fight Night, Taira versus Park, the quick picks. Now, again, for the people that are entering the UFC 319 ticket giveaway, we are running that ad one last time on Instagram. It is running through, I believe, the 2nd. And then on the 3rd, me and DS will be announcing a winner. We are choosing from a list on YouTube. That's the most important thing, right? Your comment on YouTube with your Instagram handle is the most important thing. That's the only people we're going to be picking from. We are then going to go cross-reference it. If you commented on YouTube, we're going to pick that person. We're going to go check on Instagram. If they commented on Instagram, that's the winner. If they didn't, well, you're in luck because the next person's up. We're going to pick another YouTube comment until we find someone who followed the fucking rules. It's not that difficult. Subscribe on YouTube. Comment your Instagram name on YouTube. And then on Instagram, be following us and comment on one of the 3 or 4 videos that we posted about the free ticket giveaway. Got a couple interviews coming up at UFC 319 as well. Shout out Brian Battle. I'll just go ahead and expose that one here, but we're working on a couple others. So yeah, guys, that's it. My name's Dino Bam Bam. This was D107 MMA. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.